Don't tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing funds.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Charandas Prasad, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go along that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got nothing.
Calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
the
an
Guyanese critic.
erratic
Mikhail
detective,
Rodriguez.
Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, Gildarie, you deal with that. You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Gildarie, you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Hello, welcome to the Gildarie Freddie Kissoon Show. Wherever you are, good evening, good night, good morning. Thanks for being with us. We're sorry to be late, but we'll give the minister back his time. We're about 8 minutes late. Sorry about that. I owe our two guests a debt of gratitude because what I did to both of them, you don't normally do. It's out of protocol and it's a violation of the laws of courtesy. But let me tell you what happened. I was on the seawall with my dog last night, and PNC General Council member called out to me, Darren Wade. He was with four other guests, four other lawyers. And he yelled out to me and say, we destroy your boy in Parliament. You saw your boy get destroyed in Parliament. So I said, what's going on? You all know what we do with Todd? So I said to myself, look, this is Darren Wade. How could anybody, Todd is an academic. Why would Todd be this? Who would destroy Todd? So I called the minister and I said, listen, what Darren Wade did. And I said, you need to come to this program and tell us who destroyed you and how you were destroyed. So Minister Todd at the last moment was contacted, and I owe him a debt of gratitude. I owe him one. I only have a reach in the media. So any request of me to do anything in the media, and I would like to think I have a little political reach. So I owe him a debt of gratitude. So I'm willing to pay back that in both politics and journalism. My other debt of gratitude is to our co-host, Joel Bagwandin. Leonard Gildarie couldn't make it, and at the last moment, I called Joel, and he agreed. So, our guest this evening is a special person, given the circumstances that still envelop Guyana, and given the circumstances that still penetrate the entirety of Guyanese and the Guyanese diaspora. The Venezuelan threat, which is now subsided, but how did it subside? Minister Todd was there to see the coup de grace, or the climax in St. Vincent. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome my former UG colleague, Minister Hugh Todd, Honorary Member of Parliament, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Next to him will be my co-host as guest, and I hope to have him quite often, the young, brilliant Joel Bagwandin. Minister Todd, I can't stress the debt of gratitude to call him minister a couple hours before. I appreciate your temperament and your attitude. I don't have to shake Joel Bagwandin, and he's been here too often. So, I heard last night that you were destroyed. Who destroyed you?
Well, Freddie, thank you very much for having me on your show. And as policymakers, we respond to late notices. We're always on a 24-hour
Thanks,
clock.
thanks.
So what I'm doing here is no exception to what we do usually as policymakers. So I want to say good night to you and congratulations on all of your achievements, and particularly for this show and bringing the news and desensationalizing issues, so that your viewing and listening audience can understand the facts of events, so they're not confused, so that they're able to make informed decisions. And so, Joel, thank you for being here as well. You're a rising star. Congratulations.
Excuse
and I think
me?
it's
The man's a star already.
he's pitching already.
Yeah, but I think he'll be a greater star if you recommend your tailor to him.
This is off the rack, so it's not
No,
it's not
that's
special.
That's an expensive suit, excuse me.
It's off the rack. It's not expensive. we can't afford elite premium products. We live within our means.
But you still should recommend your tailor to Joel.
Well, it's not the clothing; it's how you wear it.
Okay.
So congratulations.
So Joel, is he wearing his suit perfectly?
Yes,
But I must say that the events in Parliament yesterday, especially when I did my remarks to update the legislature, but more importantly the people of Guyana, was very important, and it's necessary to ensure that within that branch of government, which of course the opposition sits, that you're able to hash out the details, and that it is distilled to the extent that the listening public, especially the electorate, are able to understand the complexities of our political, economic, and social environment, so that they can make informed decisions, especially when we go to the polls, but more importantly in terms of governance altogether. I don't pay any credence to what Darren said. I mean, I know the kid. When I was teaching at the University of Guyana, he was a young law student. I know he's ambitious, and I know that he has high hopes himself, and I wish him all the best. But I won't pay much to what he has said. But what I can say is that on that side of the house, I don't think they have anyone there who understand the complexities of interstate relations, and what it takes as a nation state to maneuver in a very unpredictable and hostile global political environment. Of course, the shadow minister was attempting to assert herself as someone with knowledge and experience in the field, but as far as I'm aware, I could be wrong. I don't think she has any experience in interstate relations and negotiations at that level. I don't think Darren Wade has any experience in that field as well. I don't think either of them have studied in the field. I don't think they've researched in the field, and they have any writings or publications in the field. That being said, I think I must inform the viewing public that when it comes to interstate relations, the President, His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, is the head of state, he's the head of government, and he's also the Commander-in-Chief and Commander of the Armed Forces. When it comes to shaping our foreign policy and how we treat with our relations at the bilateral level, how we treat with our relations at the regional level, and how we treat with our relations at the multilateral level, and how we treat with our relations with other powerful global actors like multinational corporations and NGOs. He leads, and we can see clearly the leadership that he has displayed from the time he took office back in August of 2020. So it is very clear to the people of Guyana, more particularly the electorate, to our regional partners within CARICOM, CELAC, OAS, to our traditional partners, and even at the multilateral level, that the President has displayed sound leadership, not only advancing the interests of Guyana, but also advancing the interests at the regional level and at the multilateral level, which all feeds into our SDGs. So in all of the indicators, I think the president has been exceeding expectations within the region and further afield. I think I can stop there because I don't want to go on too much.
Joel?
No, I think I like the honorable minister's opening statement, which is an exact opening statement that I said in one of my letters recently in response to another, I think, a current university lecturer, Mr. Raw Lucas. So before I get into that, since coming out of the engagement in St. Vincent, we've had a lot of debate and commentaries in the press, in the media, by prominent commentators. And I think it was unfortunate that the adverse commentaries coming out of that was overwhelming. And in my response to Raw Lucas, I began by saying the same thing. I deliberately stayed away from any public commentary or discussion on the subject because of the complexities and because of the sensitivities. It is not a subject that, at least at this time, at this point in time, maybe 10-15 years from now, I will share some other thoughts, analytical that is, but it is a live situation, it is an active situation, it is not we're not analyzing a historic event in an academic way, and therefore as public commentators we need to exercise responsibility. Unfortunately, not everyone feel that way. And Raw Lucas particularly took me by surprise, and he had some of the most strongly negative things to say.
I read it.
In respect to...
He didn't understand
in
the
respect
declaration.
to the joint declaration.
He didn't understand the declaration.
And some of the comments I'm going to paraphrase, and I'm going to ask you to react to it. He said that President Ali has reversed the situation. He has reopened the situation to bilateral negotiation. I did not get that impression or interpretation from the joint declaration. I've read the joint declaration. He said that, and he even went on to say that President Ali undid what former President Granger did. Now, yesterday I read an article which quoted President Granger, former President Granger. Apparently, he has a weekly talk show, and I was reading it, and everything that the former president said, when I read it, is everything that the government is actually doing in relation to the issue. All of the things that he said should be done and that the government should pursue diplomatically as well as nationally, all those things are more the government is pursuing. So it's not like if he added any value. It's not like if he recommended something that the government didn't think about.
Okay.
So how do you, I don't know if you saw Raw Lucas.
I haven't seen it, but
So he said, so that's one of the main things that came out of what he said. Then the second thing he said is that the use of the word dispute, the declaration used the word dispute. Now, as a country, we've always been very careful to use the word controversy. And no government official, the president, no one has ever used the word dispute. So he said that the president accepted that this is now a dispute. Again, I disagree, right? And in my response to him, I said that we got to understand what is happening here in the context of the dialogue in St. Vincent, which is brokered by CELAC and CARICOM. So that word dispute was used by the ICJ. So you got to understand from a third party, one country is claiming that this is a dispute, another country is claiming that this is a controversy, the safest thing for the third party to do is to rely on the ICJ ruling. So those were the main contentions of Rawl. What is your take on that?
First of all, let me begin by responding.
Just a minute. We're having some technical difficulties. So Robert, this happens when you're operating alone and not with a dike. So we're off. So you're shutting it off. How long would that take? And we'll have to start the show over. Okay. Yeah, okay. Are we still live? Okay, we have a technical problem. Our operators tell us we have to shut down for 2 minutes and then we'll go back and we'll start the show.